In this video, we'll take a look at the newly released Perlisten A-Series speakers, debuting first with audio advice. Now, their flagship S-Series set a new benchmark with innovations like directivity pattern control array and beryllium tweeters, delivering performance on par with some of the most respected names in the business. The follow-up R-Series carried much of that technology into a more attainable price point without sacrificing the precision, scale, and control that made the S-Series so special. But for many, the challenge was that even the R-Series kept Perlisten firmly in the high-end category. Well, that's where the new A-Series changes the conversation. It's the most affordable lineup Perlisten has introduced, yet not a stripped-down or compromised line. And what makes that possible comes down to how Perlisten operates as a company. Their products are designed and engineered in the US, and they own their own factory overseas dedicated solely to its own products, with full-time employees and strict quality control for the tight tolerances that their speakers demand. And every single part of the process is controlled in-house, from the drivers and cabinets to the crossovers and even the finishing work. Now, that same meticulous approach continues with the A-Series, which spent more than 3 years in development before its release. Now, let's take a closer look at these speakers. The cabinets are solid and acoustically inert, with heavy bracing and damping to eliminate unwanted resonances that can blur detail and reduce clarity. Even for what is their entry-level series, Perlisten uses HDF, which is 35% denser than MDF, which you typically see on speakers. You'll notice a beautiful front baffle to which the drivers are mounted, but it also serves an acoustic purpose. It's 50 millimeters thick, and being slightly thicker than the main speaker cabinet, when you attach them together, you get constrained layer damping to further reduce resonances. The satin black finish is understated yet elegant, making it equally at home in a purpose-built theater or a stylish living room. Now, the fit and finish is just fantastic, and while we think they look pretty cool naked, there are also optional grills available to purchase should you wish to hide the speaker components. Now, we absolutely love when speaker companies push the limits with no holds barred designs like the S-Series, then figure out a way to take similar tech and put it into a more affordable product. Of course, you have to go to those extremes to even learn about that advanced technology, and Perlisten certainly has. Now, we call this trickle down, and it's apparent that the A-Series benefited greatly from all of those learnings in the S-Series. Now, every A-Series model uses Perlisten's new 38mm composite Teteron dome tweeter mounted in a custom waveguide. It's basically an offshoot of the tweeter in the R-Series, but with a polyester dome instead of silk. And the waveguide isn't just for looks here. It has been precisely shaped to control the way sound radiates from the tweeter, keeping the tonal balance consistent across a wider listening area. You'll notice the waveguide sits forward and slightly over the mid-range bass driver, which helps get the speaker closer to a point source. This enables them to have a very big soundstage. So whether you're sitting in the sweet spot or a little bit off to the side, you're going to hear a more natural and even sound. Perlisten also developed some very special carbon fiber drivers for the S-Series, and even this new A-Series uses a version of those. All 4 models have a custom designed 8-inch carbon fiber driver. Carbon fiber is both incredibly stiff and very light, allowing the cone to move quickly and accurately without flexing. This results in bass that is tight, fast, and detailed even at higher listening levels. The motor structure is engineered for linear movement, reducing distortion and preserving dynamics. And while you never see it, the crossover is a critical part of the speaker as it directs all the acoustic traffic to the right drivers. In talking with their team, we learned that the A models started out with standard inductors, but after some listening tests, they decided to switch over to more expensive air core inductors to get the sound that they actually wanted. In addition, you also find 1 pair of solid binding posts on the A-Series on the back. Now, this is a slight step down from most of the models in the R-Series, which have bi-wiring capability, but something that they felt was worth the cost trade-off in the A-Series. Okay, now every Perlisten product also follows 3 acoustic principles the owners believe are needed for a speaker to bring music to life in your home. Those are detail, dynamics, and low distortion. They apply both scientific measurements and listening tests to achieve their goals. Every single model in the A-Series has been measured and refined using Klippel near-field scanning, a process that maps the speaker's output in 3 dimensions. This allows Perlisten to fine-tune both the frequency response and the dispersion characteristics, ensuring that the speaker performs well not just in lab measurements, but also in real-world listening environments. We also just love the fact that Perlisten provides images of the exact Klippel measurements from all of their speakers, which is something that many speaker companies might shy away from. And while the A-Series doesn't include the multi-driver DPC array from the S and R series, it is still designed and controlled with dispersion in mind. They go for wide horizontal dispersion and have designed the baffle to slightly limit vertical dispersion, which helps greatly with the placement. The voicing is also unmistakably Perlisten, offering a wide soundstage and natural tonal balance. We found in our listening tests that these do lean just ever so slightly warmer than the R series, with very delicate high frequency extension that is just superb. And all of the models are 4 ohms and for the most part are about 88 dB in sensitivity. This is slightly less than the S and R series, which does mean that they will benefit from good and plenty of amplifier power. Now, the beauty of the A-Series is that every single model shares the same drivers and voicing, so you can actually mix and match them to create a seamless system. The best combination for your space will come down to the room size and whether your focus is music, home theater, or both. So let's take a look at each of the 4 models and discuss where we think they would fit best. The A4t is the flagship of the A-Series and the best fit for large rooms or dedicated theaters. It uses a 2.5-way design with 3 of the 8-inch carbon fiber woofers and the Teteron tweeter. The drivers on either side of the tweeter cross over at 1500 Hz while the lower one kicks in at 500 Hz. Their team told us that it took them hours and hours of computer modeling and both measuring and listening to prototypes to actually design the perfect port for these two. What they came up with is a front-firing vertical rectangle with a special design inside the cabinet. They felt this extended the bass while allowing more placement flexibility than other ported designs. So the combination of drivers and port technology gives it very deep bass extension, clean dynamics, and the ability to reach peaks over 113 dB while keeping distortion below 3%. With such low distortion, you may actually be surprised with how loud that they can get with the right power before they start to sound strained. If you want to anchor a full Perlisten system in a big space, the A4t is the natural choice for your front, left, and right channels. Just make sure to budget for good power to drive them properly, which our team here at Audio Advice can certainly help you out with if you need it. We also have to mention that we really like the adjustable outrigger feet that comes standard on both towers in the lineup. Now, moving on, the A3t takes the same design philosophy and scales it into a slightly slimmer cabinet. It still uses the Teteron tweeter and Waveguide paired with a smaller complement of carbon fiber woofers, giving it plenty of bass extension and headroom for medium-sized rooms. It's basically an A4t without the extra woofer. Now, they can still hit peaks of 111 dB and stay under that 3% distortion. This A3t is easy to integrate and doesn't dominate a space physically, which makes it a sweet spot for listeners who want tower speaker performance but don't need the raw output of the A4t. It's equally comfortable in a 2-channel music setup or as mains in a surround sound system, but these will also benefit greatly from a really good amplifier. Okay, next is the A3m, which is the bookshelf option in the lineup, and we think it has a lot of potential with the flexibility. You could kind of think of it as an A3t tower in a smaller sealed cabinet, but this A3m is compact enough to work on stands, shelves, or a desk, yet it offers more bass presence than you might think for its size. With typical in-room bass extension all the way down to 40 Hz, these can fill up a smaller space, or you can always pair them up with a sub in a bigger room where you want a smaller footprint. They have the same low distortion SPL capabilities as the A3t towers and could easily serve as the main speakers in a Sirius 2.1 music setup or as part of a home theater system as a center channel on the side or as surrounds. You could even use them as a left, right, and center speaker in your home theater setup in a smaller space. Okay, next is the A2s, which is designed with surround and height channel use in mind. It uses the same composite Teteron dome tweeter and Perlisten's unique waveguide paired with the same 8-inch carbon fiber woofer in a shallow cabinet that is purpose-built for flexible mounting. These actually angle the drivers down, making them designed to go on the side or rear walls and ideally at the ceiling on the wall. Now, they have mounting points for direct mounting, or there's an optional tilt and swivel bracket for all their surround speakers that will fit if you need more angling or a ceiling mount. This bracket, which is actually made by Isoacoustics, gives you a ton of mounting options, allowing you to precisely aim them where you need them to go. That flexibility makes the A2s ideal for Atmos and DTS:X setups where you want consistent voicing across all channels, but also need compact, placement-friendly speakers. Okay, now those are the 4 speakers in the lineup. You can order them right now today from Audio Advice and be the very first among anyone to experience them. I'll leave links down below. You'll also get free shipping, our price guarantee, and lifetime support, and expert setup advice. We can also help you get the best performance from your system. Now, if you're building a dedicated home theater, our free 3D home theater design tool and placement guides at audioadvice.com can help be sure that your system system is set up correctly. They're all going to be linked down below. And if you have more questions, feel free to call or chat with our team at audioadvice.com or just stop by one of our award-winning showrooms. We'd be happy to help you out. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button, and turning on the notifications so you don't miss out on any of our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.